This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. It is day 9 of Ravens training camp. There were no pads today, but that doesn't mean that the intensity wasn't there. A common theme thus far is that the defense is winning the day. The offense, they had a much better day last Thursday. However, the defense bounced back, particularly the secondary. There were 3 interceptions today, with Jair Alexander having one of the best plays of the day, where he intercepted a Lamar Jackson pass intended for Zay Flowers, which resulted in the entire defense erupting into cheers, jumping up and down. The energy was absolutely there, and that is something that Jair brings to this team. Here's what Coach Harbaugh had to say about that.
Well, he's full of energy. I mean, he's in the weight room at 6 o'clock every morning, so and he's lighting it up and bringing energy. You know, he's just that kind of a guy. But here's an example. So, showed a clip today where one of the young receivers, or one of the young DBs, got an interception before the day off, and he didn't run it back to the house. And we had been showing these clips of all of our guys, Ed Reed and Dwan Landry and all these different guys, Jimmy Smith picking it off and making good runs and stuff like that. You know, we want to encourage our guys, and he didn't run it out. You know, I just told myself, man, what a guy like me, who was not a good player, would have given to be in an NFL practice. You know, if I had gotten an interception, I'd definitely be running that thing back to the house, you know. So Jair, did you see what he did? He picks one off on the sideline. And when we got this field's running this way, then we got another field running this way. So instead of running it back that way, he went on the other field and ran it all the way back. Did you see that? Like about 130 yards, actually, probably what it was. So that's the kind of energy he brings.
Someone else who's having a great training camp and also came up with the interception today on a pass intended for Rashad Bateman is second-year cornerback Nate Wiggins. A lot of that is attributed to the game slowing down for him. Wiggins said now that he better understands the offense and can read things a little better, it's going to be a problem this year.
Nate, Coach Pagano, he said the game is slowing down for you. Can you give your perspective on that and how that's kind of helping you get better?
Yeah, just like saying the route concept, getting to know just like the NFL better, and just concept of the routes, how deep the route is. So I feel like last year I was just playing with my talent and what God was giving me. So this year, maybe it's gonna be a totally different ball game this year.
We also had an opportunity to talk to secondary coach Chuck Pagano, who clearly has that secondary activated. I asked him, on the same note of Nate Wiggins, is there anything that they're focused on to make him better in his second year? Coach Pagano said they want him to just be more consistent.
Is there anything with Nate Wiggins that you're emphasizing to help him take his game to the next level?
Yeah, just consistency, because we've seen him, you know, from a talent standpoint, you know, the measurables are there and could run with anybody in this league. It's just consistency, being able to play at that level, down after down, and then year 1 to year 2, you know, we all expect a big jump just from I think the game's really slowing down from a mental standpoint. He's starting to get all the calls down, so now it's going to be, okay, what's the down and distance? He's going to understand that. What's the personnel in the game? What's the formation? He's going to be able to dissect and diagnose instead of worrying about, okay, what's my job on this call? He's already got that down, so now it's like he's figured out 3rd and 8. It's one of these 2 plays based on the personnel, based on the formation, motion, and all those kind of things. So just consistency.
Although the defense is showing up and showing out, there shouldn't be concerns about the offense from my perspective. The Ravens have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and that is something that Lamar Jackson is using to gauge their success in training camp. He will not see many defenses on the level of his own in the regular season, but it's not to say that the offense isn't making plays. I want to point out that Cooper Rush, he had a beautiful pass to Dayton Wade, who's also making some plays in training camp. In addition to that, other wide receivers who are stepping up is Xavier Guillory, as well as Keith Kirkwood. So I would keep my eye on all 3 of those guys. Yes, the wide receiver group is fairly set and pretty deep, but these are guys who could possibly make the practice squad. In addition to that, Lamar Jackson, he had a beautiful pass to Mark Andrews And then DeAndre Hopkins, he's been doing it all training camp. He had another one-handed grab over a defender on a ball that was kind of high. And when I spoke to DeAndre Hopkins when he first got signed by the Ravens, he said that he still considers winning those catches as one of his strengths. The Ravens will be at the stadium tomorrow for their one and only stadium practice. Next week, they have joint practices with the Indianapolis Colts, and then they have their first preseason game next Thursday. Be sure to follow Bowie TV Sports for all your Ravens content at Bowie TV Sports. This has been your Ravens Rundown.